guys, what's up? It's me, Fang Banger. In this video, I'm going to be bringing you another Black Ops 2 Ghost Stories. Yes, I'm bringing you Black Ops 2 again, and as we always know, to make Black Ops 2 not as boring for you, who are mostly my FIFA viewers, I'm going to do some ghost stories on it. Right now, though, we're playing Hardpoint, I believe on Yemen. And I decided to go for a hardpoint just because I'm trying to get all these achievements so I can get all these tags. And then I'm also trying to go for the diamond bling on the submachine guns. So as you can see, I am going to be using the Vector. This is the 4th gun that I'm working on, and I think I'm trying to get headshots, although I'm trying to also just get points as well and prestige. So that's kind of what I'm into right now with Call of Duty. Anyway, let's get it started, though, a little bit on this ghost story. And this is going to be one of my own. Like I said, I have quite a few of my own. This is going to date back to when I was, I believe, 9 years old, and maybe around then, 8 or 9, and we lived in a house that we had moved into on A Street in Miami, Oklahoma. I don't remember the exact address, but this house was entirely, I guess, kind of creepy in the first place, but it was nice looking, and we loved it from what we saw, so we didn't really care. Apparently before, though, if y'all don't know very much about Miami, Oklahoma, it is in the northeast corner of Oklahoma, and it is known, like really known for the surrounding areas to be like haunted. You know, there's Native Americans, Indian burial grounds and everything around there. So it's known for that. And I think it also was a place where, you know, there was war during the Civil War and whatnot. So they have different things such as Lover's Leap, where a couple jumped off a cliff together and you're supposed to be able to hear them scream. They have Crybaby Bridge, apparently where you can park underneath the bridge and hear a baby crying. They have the Spook Light, which is a worldwide known phenomenon for this area, and you'll go out into this wooded area on these old dirt roads, and this light will chase you, and nobody can really understand or know what it is or why, but it does that. You can look it up, and apparently everyone says it's like an Indian and he's looking for his head, you know, all those fables that they make up. And then there's the Hoffman Mansion, where the Hoffmans, there was a, I believe, triple murder suicide. So he killed his whole family and then he killed himself, and apparently that place is super haunted. So there's a lot going on. That's why I have so many stories, I believe, because of Miami. But anyway, we're moving to this house on A Street. It used to be a 3-story kind of like nursing home type thing, and something happened where the top story caught fire, and you know, the house had to be completely redone. They knocked all that off. They turned it from what it was into a house. And so for us, all it had was a basement, a really large basement, and then it was just a really big 1-story house, pretty much. Like, you had to go upstairs to get to it, so it's set kind of high, obviously, because the basement was not completely underground. But it was a really nice house, and we liked it. It had like 4 bedrooms, and then the basement we'd actually turned, like, we'd built a bedroom down there for my brother because he like wanted to be away from everybody. It was a big deal, and it was kind of creepy, the basement area, because you'd walk in the front door, there'd be the living room, and then to the left there would be 2 bedrooms, and then you walked back into the kitchen, and the kitchen was huge. Kitchen and dining room was like one of the biggest parts of the house, and then back in the left was my room, which was kind of came out into the kitchen, and then there was just like a cage that was like a fancy looking cage that looked down into the basement. You had to open a door, and I think that was pretty much to stop kids from falling going into the basement. So that was kind of creepy in the first place, because a lot of the times my brother was never there. He was like the biggest roamer at that age, so he was never home. And so you'd walk by and it was just pitch black in the basement at all times, and you would just look into darkness from this cage. So that personally creeped me out anyway, and I always had to walk by it to get to my room. But the house in general was really nice. We lived in there for maybe like 2 months before I started feeling like, I guess, I was hearing things. And, you know, at that time and that age, maybe you're just, you know, you creep yourself out. You're thinking someone's under your bed or someone's in your closet, and you really don't know exactly what's going on. So I started getting this like feeling where I felt like really scared of the basement. And my mom's like, you're paranoid, you know, you watch too much TV. And it was one of those things. And I'm like, no, really, like, I feel like I hear stuff in the basement, because in a lot of houses where you have basements, you'll have these vents in the ground or in the floor, like in your room or in other places. And it's like just directly into the basement. I don't know why it's set up that way, but you could hear everything in there. And so my mom is a nurse at the time, and I believe my stepdad and her were together, but for some reason, he worked. Okay. he was a welder, so he worked later at night. He didn't get home until like 9 or 10. And then she was a nurse, so her hours are crazy. Like, she's working all the time. I think she was doing ER or something at the time. So, you know, her hours are crazy. And so at that time in my life and that age, my sister would go and like stay with her grandmother. And I was there by myself half the time because my brother was always roaming. And so I knew how to take care of myself. I think I stayed home alone from like age 7 until like later on. So I didn't have to worry about that. And I was never really too scared to stay by myself until this house. And this one night I'm by myself and I'm sitting on the couch in the living room. I make sure, like, we had a break-in, or we had an attempted break-in at one point that I can maybe go into detail with from a year before that, maybe in a different video. Maybe I'll just talk about the detail. No, I'll just say it now. I was in my house, another house we lived in, and I woke up in the middle of the night. My parents were asleep. My brother was asleep in the other room. And we had a sliding glass door that the lock was broke on, but we used this big piece of wood to stop it from opening all the way. It could barely open. And so I wake up to go use the restroom, and then I sit there for a while. I'm out of it. There's like black and white cartoons on. I remember vividly. And I have a cat, so I keep hearing this noise outside. I'm like, what is that? And I was like, is my cat trying to get in? But I just ignore it. I don't want to let him in. And I start noticing that, like, I hear the sliding glass door opening, and I'm like, what the hell? And so I literally, like, in a slow motion turn to look to my right, and some man has, like, got his arm in the sliding glass door and is trying to yank it open, but the wood is stopping it from opening. So I'm screaming bloody murder at the top of my lungs. Nobody's hearing me. I had to run back to my parents' room and get my stepdad. My stepdad comes running out with his gun. You know, he's going to shoot the guy. The guy would have been shot dead had he seen him there, but I guess the guy heard me scream, so he ran away. And we could never figure out who it was. Thank God for that wooden thing. But anyway, so how did that even tie in with the story? Oh, I locked the doors. I was so, like, die hard on locking the doors. So I'm sitting there watching wrestling, WWF at the time, which is now WWE. Stone Cold's on the TV. I think it's a Monday night. I'm by myself, and I start hearing like a clinking noise kind of in the basement, and I'm like, what the F is that? And so I like go and I like flip on the basement light, and I'm up in the cage and I'm looking down, and I don't see anything in there, and I'm not going down there. So I'm like, I'm not going to go down there. And I turn the light back off, and I go back and I sit there, and I'm like, okay, calm down. Like, Jesse, you need to calm down. So I calm down, and I sit there and I'm watching TV a little bit longer. And then I start hearing like noise almost like in my bedroom, and I have no idea. Like, it sounds like somebody is walking around. You might hear a siren in the background because apparently the fire department likes to drive by when I'm doing my videos. Anyway, I hear some noise in my bedroom, and I don't move. Like, I don't want to get up and go look at my bedroom. I'm already creeped out. And then out of nowhere, I just hear this boom, boom. And I'm like, holy shit. So I'm like sitting there, like gripping the couch, like, who is in my room? I don't know if someone's like broken in. I don't know what's going on. And I get the phone to go call. I'm going to call my mom and try to call her at the hospital. They have to page her. So I'm waiting on hold to like get her on the phone. And I don't know why I'd be sitting there waiting in the house. I'm crazy in the first place. I should have ran out in the first place. But I'm sitting there, and I'm like, Mom, I think someone's in the house. Like, I don't know, but I heard something in my room. And I'm like, I'm just going to go check it out. And she's like, the doors are locked, aren't they? And I'm like, yeah, the doors are locked. And so I go back to my room. I'm on the little, like, wireless phone, and I see nothing in there. And I don't see anything that's fallen out of my closet or anything like that. So I'm like, oh, my God. No, I guess it's nothing, Mom. I don't know what it is. And I go back. And I get back on the couch, we hang up, I'm fine. I think 15 minutes go by, I'm watching TV, and literally the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Keep in mind, it's not windy outside, I promise you this, and the door was locked. I sit there and I'm watching in the middle of like some wrestling match, and out of nowhere, whoop, front door just opens, completely open. And in this moment, I'm just like, by the way, okay, everybody, calm down. Calm down. I know that I just had to put that in there. I needed y'all to feel as scared as I was at that moment. So I put that in there. I apologize. Let's regroup. Let's put this back together. That really did happen. The door slings open, and I don't hesitate. I'm bolting my ass out that door, and I run full speed out of that door. My aunt lives 5 blocks away. I've never run so fast to somewhere in my entire life. I don't look back. I don't even like try to even mess around. I just run as fast as I can. I get to my aunt's house. I'm drenched in sweat because I'm so scared and my heart's beating. She's like, "What's wrong? You know, what's wrong?" And I'm like telling her what happened, and I'm like, "This is, you know, it just opened and all this stuff." And she's like, "Okay, you need to calm down." You know, she calls my mom. They call the police department because they don't know if it's what it is. They don't know if someone like is trying to get in the house or is doing anything. So they called the police department, and we wait. My mom comes straight from work. She's not that far away. And we wait, and we get to the house, and not even gonna lie, I don't know like how, and you can just, I mean, how this happened, but we get there and the front door is closed and it's locked. I mean, tell me how that happened. It's closed and it's locked. I didn't close or lock it. I ran. I didn't even do anything. Nobody else was there. Probably one of the scariest moments. I will not, like, even now, like when I'm home alone, I still think about that. And for the longest time, I could not be home alone, and it was a big thing. I cannot live by myself. I would never be able to live anywhere by myself. Most of the times I keep myself entertained here because I do stuff like this, or I watch happy things on TV. It's not as bad. It's more so at nighttime. During the daytime I'm fine, but at nighttime, scared the living shit out of me. So yeah, that's I don't know what it was. I think it was a ghost. That's a ghost story for me. And that's all I got for now. Let me know what you guys think about that. Any comments, though? I do like to hear y'all's ghost stories. Hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, get Fang Bang, nerds.